God, I wish these guys would hurry up. Told them I wanted to rank the Friday the 13th videos, and I figured what better place to do it than Camp Crystal Lake. So they just, I mean, how hard is it to find? You punch it, Camp Crystal Lake in the GPS. About time, guys. Welcome to the party. So, obviously, we're here for the same reason that we were last time. You clicked on the little box. You want to hear me talk about some movies. But we're not going to do it here. It is freezing outside. So, let's go to my cabin. I got it. It was a steal. The dude sold it for dirt cheap. So, let's go. Come on. Let's go. Inside. Come on. Oh, all right. Make yourselves at home, guys. I'm gonna get a little bit more comfortable here. Let's, we can warm up by the fire. And again, we're here to talk about Friday the 13th. So let's watch some Friday the 13th movies. I have them all. Which one do you want to watch? Which one do you want to watch? I'll turn it on. Really? That one? All right. I mean, we got to start somewhere. So. Number 12 is Jason Takes Manhattan, and obviously the biggest problem with this movie is he didn't take shit. He took a boat to Toronto. We got a couple of scenes at the end of the movie with him in Manhattan, and other than that, he's off and on this boat, killing people one by one, but the kills are really, really neutered. They're not really interesting. The characters are boring. And when we finally get to New York, we have maybe one or two kind of cool scenes. The boxing scene with Julius is iconic. I do love that scene. I love the scene where he kicks the boom box and then shows his face to the punks. That scene's really funny too. You get the iconic scene of him in Times Square. But really, everything in the sewer is a travesty. His face, he looks like a melted like play doll that got left out in the sun. And you threw like ice cream or something. That's just so a weird, melty face, goopy look. I hate it. I hate it, and I really, really hate this movie. The stupid little ghost, zombie Jason. Like, what the hell is that? And why the hell does he have hair? It doesn't make any sense. This one is easily number 12, and I'm changing this piece of shit right now. All right, so. Number 11, we're marginally better with Jason Goes to Hell. And I don't hate this movie as much as a lot of people do. They tried something new. They failed, but they tried. They tried to incorporate way too much new lore into the 9th entry of a franchise. We're changing the entire book, and it's way too late for that shit. And the faceless Jason doesn't work because we're showing up or Jason, and you don't show us him at all. You show us these random people that he's controlling, and it just doesn't work. We do have some decent characters. Creighton Duke is a badass. I even like the nerdy Steven guy. He's okay. Jessica, I believe, is the final girl. She's fine. Kane Hodder does a serviceable job as Jason in this movie. It's not my favorite portrayal of his by any means. The look is okay. The Jason look is pretty cool. A decent opening, but really just a miss. It does have some really awesome special effects, practical effects, stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's not one of my favorites, and I don't voluntarily watch this movie very often. So, can we look for something else? Yeah? Alright. Alright, so, number 10 is going to be Part 5. Part 5 is the Imposter Jason. So I know it looks like Jason, but it's not Jason. They just killed Jason. But this is their way to have their cake and eat it too and bring him back from the dead. So they concoct this weird story where a paramedic, Roy, is getting vengeance for his son. And it should be compelling. Who wouldn't want vengeance for their son who just got murdered? Worked in the first one. But the fact is, does he know that his son was at this halfway house? How does nobody know that that's his father? And again, at the end of the day, you just dress him up like Jason, so you're trying to kind of get the same vibe. The change to the halfway house still feels like Camp Crystal Lake. It doesn't change the atmosphere or the setting enough to really matter or register. There's a lot of boobs in this movie. There's a lot of really gratuitous boob shots. And again, I like boobs as much as the next Friday the 13th fan, but they hang on them a little bit too long. It's a little sleazy. I believe the director had some porn roots, so, and it shows. But we do get some memorable characters. We have Demon and his little ooh baby and the enchiladas, and Reckless Reggie's great. So there are memorable bits to this movie. It's not at the bottom, but it's close to the bottom because of forgettable kills, cutaway kills mostly. They were probably really awesome when they shot them, but they're neutered, they're cutaways, and it really just gives you a lot of blue balls because the movie builds some decent suspense and then just never really delivers. So, it's not my favorite. Not my favorite. Holy crap, did you guys see that? Those freaking Jason Voorhees. We gotta get in one of these rooms. Come on, come on. That was a close one, guys. We're gonna have to keep it down, but we should be able to continue the list, okay? I kept the remote, though. Number 9 is going to be part 3. And I know this is some people's, top 5, top 4. I like the physical performance of Jason. I think that they're starting to figure out what makes Jason scary. And it starts with him getting the hockey mask. And he gets the hockey mask in a really funny bit where he shoots the girl. It's not when he gets the hockey mask, but immediately after his first appearance, shoots the girl with the spear gun and then walks away like he's about to take his 5th poop before lunch break. So it's just a really funny scene. There aren't really very memorable characters other than Shelly and that girl. I remember that girl because she gets shot. The bikers are okay. They spend a lot of the movie in the barn, and it doesn't really just work for me. It's sort of forgettable. Terrible 3D shots. They were trying to make this a 3D movie, so you have some really, really bad 3D perspective shots that just don't work for me. The funny hillbillies are okay, but again, at the end of the day, it just doesn't work for me. Can we change this? So number 8 on the list is at the very least not forgettable. It's part 7, The New Blood, which is essentially Jason versus Carrie. People remember that. Whether you like or hate the movie, you remember the entry where Jason faces the psychic girl. It's a really good-looking Jason. We have Kane Hodder showing up for the first time, and the spine showing again. He's kind of eroded, kind of gross-looking. For the first time when he takes the mask off, he looks pretty decent. And Kane does a lot of really awesome physical stunts in this movie. But it does feature, again, outside of the main girl, completely forgettable side characters, and one of the shittiest endings in the entire franchise. The zombie dad is a joke. It's silly. So the movie, it's okay. I do like the confrontation at the end. Again, it has some nice physical stunts by Kane Hodder, but I don't come back to this movie very often. So it's safely at number 8 for me, and I'm okay with changing it again if you guys are. Yeah? Okay. Now we're getting into some really interesting stuff. Number 7 is Freddy versus Jason. Now, as a kid growing up in the 90s, this was a dream come true for me. I was so excited for this showdown. And for the most part, it lived up to the hype. At least those guys did. I mean, we get a solid 20-25 minutes of those two fighting. And those scenes are really awesome, really funny. They both get some moments to shine. But the characters, other than them, are just bad. I'm sorry. Badly acted, badly written, and again, mostly forgettable. So it's not that we show up to that movie for side characters, but I do like to care a little bit about what happens to them, and that's just simply not the case. But we do have one of the best kills in the entire franchise with the asshole boyfriend Trey that gets folded in half. One of my favorite kills in the entire franchise. So it deserves a little bit of love. And again, the ending, the ending is full of gore, full of awesome effects, and it satisfied me enough that I'm willing to put it comfortably here at number 7, Freddy versus Jason. It's a decent time for sure. Did you hear that? Guys, he's coming through the door. Come on, we got to get out of here. Through the window. Come on, through the window. Let's go. You got everybody else?
You know what? I didn't like any of those guys anyway. It was just I just wanted to kind of hang out with you and do this anyway. So, speaking of that, now that it's just me and you here alone, I luckily brought my tablet with me. So let's go ahead and finish. Let's go ahead and finish with my list. I'm gonna say number 5 is gonna be the original Friday the 13th. I know, blasphemy, but once you've seen the movie, it loses a lot of its rewatchability. Once you know who the killer is, you're just kind of getting to the ending, and the ending is kind of fun. You know, Betsy Palmer gives a memorable performance. I like Alice as a final girl. You know, obviously the beheading scene is really cool, and the things that they were able to do with almost no money. I'm not gonna be disrespectful to the franchise and say that it wasn't worthy of some praise, but when I'm doing a binge watch, I usually skip number 1 and go right to my number 5 entry, part 2, where they introduce Jason Voorhees. And Baghead Jason is effective for me. Some people's favorite version. I like that he's a little faster. I think that he's a little smarter. He's obviously still a man, and he's out for vengeance on the people that he feels have wronged him. So it's a fun little watch. It's pretty much a carbon copy of the first movie, so that's definitely a knock on it, but it's effective. Jason is fun, and we finally have, you know, our main big bad. And it also features one of the best final girls in Chrissy, and one of the best kills in Mark, the wheelchair guy who gets it right in the fucking face, and then hilariously falls down the steps. You know, that is a great kill, and it comes from this movie, so I gotta give love to part 2. And if we're going to keep going, I would say part 4, this is going to piss a lot of people off, but it's going to be Jason X. I love this movie. I think that because they embraced the camp, they embraced what the movie was, they knew, hey, we've made 10 of these damn things, we're sending them to space, let's be silly about it. And they were. The movie has a great tone because of that. They understand what they're doing. All of the actors give 100%. Kane Hodder has perfected this role by this point. His emotion without being able to show his face is superb. I do enjoy the sequence with the android getting booted up in the Uber Jason. I think that's a lot of fun. This movie also features undoubtedly the best kill in the entire franchise. The cryo kill is perfection. I love that. And again, it's just a lot of fun. The movie's a lot of fun. You can't put it on and say it doesn't give you your fill of kills and thrills and laughs. It gives you everything you want when you turn on a Friday movie. And it's easily number 4 for me. So, you know, what do you think? How are you? Or do you agree? Do you hate me so far? Are we still friends? What the hell is that? Oh shit, he's coming. Come on, we gotta go. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. What are you doing? Don't go behind the tree. Don't. What are you? He's gonna see you there. He's gonna see. Get the hell out of here. Oh, there's a boat. There's a boat. I'm going down to the boat. I'm gonna get down the boat. Get in the boat. Get in the water. Hide. I'll admit there's at least a small part of me that thinks this was a dumbass decision. God. I mean, if this is about to happen, it's at least gonna happen while I'm watching my 3 favorite versions of the movie, right? So, number 3 is actually, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but the remake. The remake is, especially the beginning, one of the best parts of any of the Friday the 13th movies I've ever seen. That opening bit is perfection. Derek Mears is terrifying. Who cares if the characters suck? The characters suck in most of these movies, but at least this one got Jason very right. He's scary, he's fast, he's smart. You know, he's got the cave systems that explains how he pops around everywhere, so it's not just teleportation, which I'm okay with, but it's just everything about this movie that needed to work works for me. I love the way it's shot. Again, I think Jason's design is perfect, and the movie's just, it's not a perfect movie, but it's a really fun Friday the 13th. I love some of the kills are especially brutal, and the way he kind of like tortures his victims, almost like a woodsman, is interesting. So and terrifying. Again, that would be a really getting cooked over a fire would be probably the worst way to go of most of the way he's killed folks. So number 3, I don't think it gives the love that it deserves, but I hope that maybe one day it will. But the remake is number 3 on my list. Number 2, however, is going to be part 6, Jason Lives. So really there's 2 schools of thought for the Friday 13th fans at which one's the best between part 6, and if you can do the math, you realize that part 4 is my number 1. Is really, do you prefer your Jason alive or zombified? I prefer mine alive, but that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy Zombie Jason. And part 6 is the introduction of Zombie Jason, the best version of Zombie Jason. And I really, 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 really love this movie. I like the look of Jason and his tight little tushy. I think his little utility belt is hilarious. This movie starts to embrace the camp, but not too much. They still allow Jason to be scary. And for the first time in the franchise, there are children at the camp. They've rebranded themselves. They're trying to forget all about old Jason. Tommy can't leave well enough alone. He comes and fucks it all up, brings Jason back to life, and actually puts these little children in peril. And as you've heard me say before, when children are in peril, it adds to the fear factor. And there are a couple okay kills in this movie. It got neutered pretty bad. The side characters are reasonably memorable, I would say. Yabang and the dad was pretty cool. He was just trying to protect his daughter, even if he was being a prick about it. But the movie works really well. It's one of my favorites. It has a great rock soundtrack, and I watch this movie all the time. And I wouldn't be upset if this was the last one that I ever got to see before Jason iced me. But really, this though is a masterpiece. Part 4, the final chapter, is the best Jason movie by far. You bring back Tom Savini, you give him money to do what he does best. You have some of the best effects in the entire franchise, some of the best kills in the entire franchise. The cast of characters are likable. You have the amazing Crispin Glover and his fantabulous dance moves, the Doublemint twins, and you have freaking Teddy. There's just a bunch of really memorable characters. It's fun to spend time with them, to get to know them, and then inevitably watch Jason butcher them all in fantastic fashion. It has one of the most hilarious deaths in the franchise with the hiker guy when he's getting stabbed. He's killing me! He's killing me! I can't keep my voice down. Sorry, but it's a really amazingly done movie. The finale's awesome. The way he slides down the machete. Tommy Jarvis gets introduced in this movie. Corey Feldman is perfect. And again, everything you have to say, I can't name a single fault. I don't think that there's anything wrong with this movie. It's the perfect Friday the 13th movie, and I'll watch it anytime, especially before Jason comes and slits my throat. So, but guys, this is just my list. Please don't kill the messenger. It's just my opinion. You asked me to come out here, tell you my opinion, so here it is. But I don't know. I guess this is probably going to be the end for me. I mean, here my dumb ass is stuck out on a boat in the middle of Crystal Lake. I can't imagine I'm going to get out of this, but hopefully we'll see you again, boys and girls. Good night.